And maybe Spencer want to say something about this because people are always asking about.
Oh yeah, the white paint. The white paint was not supposed to happen in Israel. It was sent to Denmark for an installation. I was part of a biennial at the Heart Museum, and my project was to paint everyone with white paint with 200 canisters, and the paint got stuck in Germany. Then it came to Denmark in the middle of the night before the installation, and there was no one to go through the truck that had 1,000 packages in it. 1,000 to find the 7 packages of white paint, and so it never got there. And you know, I just couldn't believe that my idea hadn't happened, because I've been working with paint for over 10 years, and so I'm just like, how could this happen? You know, I was so depressed. I haven't failed in a long time with my works, but I had failed, and so then I start thinking about, you know, how the white could be pillars of salt, and how the white could be connected to the story of Lot,
which is this week's Parsha, coincidentally.
Okay, yeah.
Intentionally.
Intentionally. And you didn't fail. It was all God's intervention behind it.
And I'm not a big fan of that story, because you know, Lot's wife turns to stone for just looking back. You know, the punishment was too harsh for me. So I thought, well, maybe I could do this work. It would touch upon that biblical story, but also the white paint would represent springs, because when fresh water comes up from the bottom of the Dead Sea, large pillars of white salt form. And so I thought also that the bodies could be pillars of salt. And so I had this language for the work and 2 stories for the work that really meant a lot to me. And then I asked the director, since they had not organized the shipment that well, if he could pay it forward and give a gift to the city of Arad. And they said that they would, the Heart Museum said they would pay for the shipment of the paint to Israel, and it got there a week beforehand. And Ari ordered me slippers so people wouldn't, you know, hurt their feet on the rocks, and we were able to pull off a very wonderfully organized and conceptual work that wasn't supposed to happen. So that's the story of the white paint. So I wanted to paint people full body paint for a work I was doing in England, and in England they were sending me companies that were in Europe, in Belgium and France, that made body paint, but I sort of was getting the wrong type of paint, the wrong consistency. I needed it to dry quickly, but I also needed it to be protected in case it rains and it wouldn't all come off, you know, a warm rain. And then a friend of mine said, you know, the largest body paint company in the United States is 10 minutes from your house. So in Chestnut Ridge, in Rockland County. And so I drove over there, met the owner of Meron Paint, and I said, you know, I'd love to work with you. And they made this a special consistency and a special formula just for me. And so that's the paint we used. It's a nice story. And the great thing is that I keep on telling him, if he raises his prices, I can't do my work because I have a lot of people that want to participate. So he kept it at a relatively low price for me to be able to continue to make my works.
And I want to say a few words that most of you don't know, but after the main shooting for these white pillars, we had a secret shooting, two shootings, sunrise and sunset. It was initiated by May and Yuval. Yuval is not here, right? And this was a secret acro yoga shooting. I don't know if you know what's acro yoga. What's acro yoga? You know what's acro yoga?
I can demonstrate with Spencer.
She'll flip me around.
Actually, if you watch it from outside, it's very frustrating. because they're just this group of amazing, talented, free spirit, 30 people who came from all over the center to Metzukei Dragot to shoot this amazing experience. It was also a new experience for Spencer because he's never done something like that. Usually people, the participants he shoots are from all, you know, ages, shapes, colors, and this was quite an homogenic group, but it was, for me, and I told May, it was an inspirational experience, shot in very hard conditions, on the floor with stones on the back, and they're lifting each other naked.
When are we going to see it? When is it going to be published? Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that. You know,
making the word of the Arad Museum.
Yeah, maybe, you know, maybe Ari can get his dream museum funded. It's a beautiful design, and it seems like just something someone could be proud of, because not only are they, you know, helping invest in a museum, but they're also the works being shown are environmental works done by artists addressing environmental themes. So yeah, so good luck, Ari, with your Dead Sea Museum.
The architects.
Yeah, and if you're interested, you probably all know about this, but I have an exhibition in the virtual museum, which looks a little bit different than the one online, that is up right now at thedeadseamuseum.com, and you can go to 2 floors of my work from 2011 and 2016, and also a special video art that we made for the exhibition as well, with a video viewing room where you can, well, there are benches, you can't sit down, but it's a really beautiful design by Aikino Space. And Ari might want to say 1 or 2 words, and then we can take pictures.
Sure.
Over there, everyone will drop their clothing by the sand.
So yeah, thank you everyone for coming out tonight. It's been an incredible journey. And I really have to say thank you to Keren, who's been like a partner, actually a very surprising partner all these years. When Spencer came 11 years, surprising. You were the only one in Israel that stood up right away and said, I love Spencer's work, I wanted to make it happen. And all the other people in the country, were not as supportive of the work.
One last sentence. When I told Ari this on the, we had 3 quality days in the while shooting. In 2000, I think it was 3. I was walking in London to see galleries, and I went into this gallery, and there was a solo exhibition by Spencer. And I looked at the door. I thought it's probably 90. Like, he's so established, and he has such a vast body of work. So he's probably like a very old man. And I saw this one, and it was amazing. It was a sensual experience, and I can't believe that after almost 20 years I'm working with this guy. I mean, for me it was unbelievable. I was amazed to see such beautiful images. So this is thanks to Ari. Back to you. Sorry.
And thanks to Spencer, because 2011 was really about awareness. You know, from one regard, telling the world that he's actually Jewish, he's connected to Israel. People were not aware of that. He's able to make one of his most amazing works of his career in this country to help everyone be aware of the Dead Sea and the environmental issues it was facing. Amazing awareness, but then he left, the situation got worse. So he came back in 2016 to kind of show the world what's happening with the sinkholes. Again, amazing awareness, nothing happened on the ground. So over the past years, as we've been brainstorming ideas together, he suggested, what about a museum? He was working on plans to create one in St. Miguel. And he said, what about doing one by the Dead Sea? So this whole installation really was to promote the concept of the museum they want to build in Arad. So thank you, Spencer, for joining me for this journey. The museum is virtual today, but with Sharon and Yiftach's amazing design and everyone's support, hopefully it's going to be a physical museum.